power gap is really about reframing the way that we talk about gender inequity in the workforce. So often we focus on the wage gap or the lack of women on corporate boards or CEOs. But what we found is that actually the problem goes far below that. The glass ceiling is not at the top of an organization. It's in the middle. Women are dropping out of the workforce well below the executive levels. They're outranked, they're outnumbered, they're underpaid at almost every level. And by having a more full view of all of the different things that are at play, the odds of making things better is greater. You hear companies say, this is a pipeline problem, we don't have enough people coming through the pipeline. There are plenty of women in the pipeline at the start of it. They're just not making it to the end. They're dropping out on the way. And that's what this project really shows in black and white terms. This is moving beyond just sheer representation numbers and thinking about what kind of society that we want to live in and what we value in leaders. I think the goal of the investigation is one, just to draw awareness to this problem. If you only think about gender inequities in terms of this very narrow, broad statistic of the wage gap, it's hard to actually do anything about it. So one is awareness. I hope there's more transparency. The Globe and Mail is in a position that they can spend 2.5 years digging into this and finding out what's going on in workforces across Canada. But ideally, this would already be available for people to see. One of the biggest weapons that women have in negotiating is information. So I think more transparency. And then I think if we're talking about leveling the playing field in terms of who is actually making decisions in this country, we want those tables to look like the country. This isn't just about getting more women at those tables, it's about getting all measures of diversity on those tables. You want this to reflect Canada. You're going to make better decisions about how the country should run if you're taking everybody's experiences into consideration. I have this incredible gift of working at the Globe and Mail and working at an institution that believes in this type of investigative journalism. And I want to use that the muscle of the Globe and Mail to make as much impact as possible. So I think when you talk about the power gap, what could be more important than making sure that Canadians, especially at a time when we're thinking so much about employment and the type of country that we want to live in and the work that we value and the people that we value, what could be more important than making sure that the system includes everyone and not just a very narrow slice of the country?